So last check. Picked up my last check today. Feels cool. Feel like a free man. At first I was working, the full 40 hours a week, then went to part-time. Then finally I was like, I think it's time to just kind of cut all that and pull the plug and be an entrepreneur for real. So I'm thinking my first way of making money will be photography and videography. And then, with all the time in the world, hopefully that I'll have, well, I know it's going to take a lot of hard work near the beginning to just, get all my clientele and to replace the money that I had been making with engineering. But also I'll be in full control of my time, whether that means that I'm working all the time or not working as much as I used to. I can't, I don't feel like, I guess we can always make ourselves be a victim of something, and I know control is also an illusion, but at the same time, it's cool to feel like I'm actually calling the shots, and if I make a bad decision, it's all on me, but nobody's telling me to be at a certain place at a certain time. And I trust God, and I'm full of hope, even though if I really, really think about it, I can give myself a lot of reason to worry. I don't feel like I'm really worried at all, or I'm not worried at all actually about anything. If anything, the only thing that I feel like I should be worried, because for some reason I feel like if I do that, that's me being more careful, me being more responsible. But I don't feel fear right now at all. I don't feel worried at all. And the fact that I don't feel those things, that's the thing that's making me feel like I'm doing the wrong thing. Because I'm used to being like, have I done this, have I done that, showing that almost like a lot of concern and worry, and masking that, my brain masking that as me caring a lot. But I've kind of shed that off, and I don't feel like that anymore. So now it's just gonna be a matter of making sure that I wake up at the right time, go to bed at the right time, honestly exercise, eat healthy, all those things, so that I'm fresh and I'm fully present in both mind and body. And then just go out there and find work, figure out exactly what do I like, what do I don't like. Right now with photography and for video, I know usually people say you need to find a niche, but wow, that's my stomach. But I guess we need to figure out what we want to eat. But honestly, other than, I know that I don't like funerals, because I did a few funerals recently, and that's one thing I know I don't want to do that. But apart from that, I'm down for everything. Real estate, weddings. My bread and butter is definitely families and couples. But I'm down, I'll shoot anything. And I mean, it's a given, but obviously, I'm not going to shoot naked people. So if that's your thing, don't. So if you want a funeral or you want naked pictures or look like you're naked, that's the only thing I'm not going to do. But other than that, I'm down for whatever. So and it's crazy too, because last year I said no to so many people. So I'm here now. I was like, hey, if you still want photo shoots, I'm available now. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to just, I don't know, I feel very, very alive. I've been feeling alive for a good bit, but I feel even more alive now that I've completely cut off, even not trying to do part-time. But yeah, I think it'll be cool to just build something for my family, and so that by the time I'm retiring, it's not just like, okay, well, I worked hard for other people, I did great things for people, for the city, whatever, through my company, but I don't have anything to show for it other than the money that I have in retirement. I think it'd be cool to build something else. And even the photo video is not the thing that I'm so crazy passionate about that I want to do for the rest of my life. That's just a door. It'd be cool to do that for the rest of my life, but for me to do it in such a way where I'm able to do other things too. So yeah, last check, I guess security, right? It feels like security, but it's not really. I guess nothing in life really is security, and that's another thing that I've realized. I'm not going to get all crazy deep, but it's like, other than Jesus, all these things, you feel like, oh man, I need a secure job, I'm guaranteed a paycheck. No, it's yeah, realize that that's not the case. So even that, my mind is going to become more and more convinced of just I have nothing against W2 jobs or 9 to 5. don't have an issue with it. If I go long enough and I'm not making money for my family, I'm definitely gonna go back, with no shame or anything. Because at the end of the day, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a provider, but I think this is a risk worth taking. And in my life, it's crazy because in my life, some of the biggest things that have happened in my life that I go look back on with no regrets, and like that I look back on, I was just like, man, that was so amazing, have been when I've taken risks. It's always been calculated risks, but at the end of the day, I am definitely becoming more and more the kind of person who's willing to take risks, even that are not fully calculated. My wife usually is the person she has a thought, she has a dream, the next day she's ready to completely change her whole life. But I take ages. So I think I've told her, you need to take less risks and I need to take more risks, But we're good for each other. So I appreciate her supporting this whole thing. And if we go down, we're gonna go down together, but I don't think we're gonna go down. If anything, if we go down, it's gonna be so we can burn all the stuff that we don't need in our lives and come back up out of the ashes in a good way. I'm just not talking, but I'm very hungry. I guess we'll go find something to eat. But at least it's here on video. Last check from my engineering job, 10 years put into this, got a master's degree, a bunch of other stuff. Also, I gave myself this challenge where I was gonna see if I can get 100 no's and see how that's gonna change me as a person and what I'm going to learn. I've already gotten 100 no's. I was keeping like a log on my phone, but man, it's tough out here. It's like people, and it's crazy too, because people promise you a lot. It's like, oh yeah, I'll use it for this, I'll use it for that, and they just forget. It's nothing is personal. You're like, oh, so by the way, are you ready for this thing? It's like, oh man, my bad, man. And then excuses come out. So that's been a really cool thing to realize, just how until you're like in front of the person shooting their wedding, or until you're like in front of the person shooting their birthday shoot or whatever, like nothing is guaranteed. At least with weddings, that one's, people sign a contract and take a deposit and all that kind of stuff. What else? You know what? Oh yeah, I had my nini, my crest from Kenya. Oh sure. We were in Kenya over in December, like right before Christmas, and Crest is my favorite drink in the world, is my favorite soda. Much better than Sprite and all this other stuff. And I'd say that I was not gonna drink this until I'm a free man, until I quit. And I quit. But when I was in Kenya, I was thinking about quitting, but I wasn't really, really, really sure. But it was really good to just go back home and think about some things. And that helped me to be more certain by the time I came back. I remember I was talking to one of my friends, Caleb, and it was a real conversation. None of us cried, but it was just a man-to-man conversation, because he's struggling financially back home, and we came from the same village. So anytime I really don't know how I know him, other than just anytime there's a function, a wedding, a funeral, church, whatever, the man's around. So, but he knows my family somehow. He knows my dad. But anyway, we were just talking, and there's a big rock that I always like to go up there. And that's where I read, pray, start my day off. The sunrise looks amazing. You can kind of see the whole compound where my parents have built and where my cousins and my grandma used to stay. My cousins are still there. But me and him were talking, and I was apologizing to him because he saw me, he came over, and I was apologizing because he had been calling me, texting me, and I was just ignoring it. Thank God he still came over, even though I'd been ignoring him. We talked, and I was just telling him how it was so weird to also, like, in a sense, complain about what I was complaining about, because I was telling him, I'm gonna quit my job. Guaranteed money. I go make really, really, really good money to support my family, support friends, support even, him if he needed some cash here and there. But I was going to quit it because, I had tried the whole doing it part-time, but what I realized that it was only part-time until it mattered. So when there was a project due, I was spending more time at work than when I was full-time. So I was telling him how sometimes I'll go in at 5 a.m. in the morning and not leave till about midnight. And because we're trying to get the project out. And then when the project did go out, it's not like I got the next day off. I still had to meet my quota of hours. And so anyway, just without going into a lot of things, because I have love for the people there, not for the place, but for the people there and the opportunity they gave me. But it didn't work out, and so I was just telling him about how I'm gonna quit that so that I can spend more time with my wife and my kids and do what I really want to do and build that. And I was like, look, man, this sounds so bad, because he doesn't have a job, and he was just asking, I just need something, just give me something. My dad had actually helped him find a job. My dad had given him a job, him helping my dad with something back home, and he was working throughout the night. So that morning, it was him coming home, and he had seen me there, and here he was now just going to sleep. But it was just an interesting conversation that here he is wanting work, here I am with work, but I don't want the work because I need more time. So just that trade of, we need money to live, but if you're only making money to support people, but you can't even spend time with the very people who you're trying to support, I don't want Wakina Hadassah to grow up and be like, yeah, my dad provided everything for me, but I never got to see him. Which one is worse? I mean, you need both. Obviously, as a father, I think my role, I can't diminish my role. I need to provide financially, and at the same time I need to be there present emotionally and just to teach many things in life. So we're going to find that balance of providing financially and also providing and being fully present there and healing things that might develop whenever a child and father are not fully able to really just go back and forth and talk and be there for each other. So anyway, I'm just talking about very simple life things, and it's not as dramatic as I'm making it sound, but in my brain sometimes it feels that dramatic. So we're gonna start from scratch with all this. God will, I know those are not wasted years, that season of being an engineer and all I did and how hard I worked for other people. And I believe that God will honor that, and I think he'll give me the opportunity to also work just as hard for myself and for my family. The good thing in all of this is that at the end of the day, I'm a servant of God, and I'm still working for him, whether I'm working technically for myself versus working under somebody else. And this whole rambling thing would be cool, again, with all these videos, to go back on it and look. But now I can finally drink my crest. I think maybe we can go find some food since the kids are at their grandma's house, at Shosho's house. So we have our last kid with us. Maybe we can go find something to eat. And Friday, no stress other than I need to find work for next week, But I thank God, and thank you. I don't know why you don't want to be in the shot, but
I was gonna go lay her down, but I'm just waiting. I'll pass through here.
No, I'm saying you can be.
I'll stay.
I guess you can walk by, Huh? Oh, you don't want to kiss me on the lips on the camera. I'm just kidding. It's okay.
No, I thought you wouldn't want to kiss me on the lips on camera.
On camera? Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, I mean, it's 2026. People are doing all kinds of crazy stuff online. We don't have to prove anything. I mean, what we got? Anyway.
All right.
4 kids. Anyway, yeah. Man, people do anything on camera for stuff. Anyway, yep. Peace out. Let's go deposit the check and get some food.